powerful. He's so vicious. Like his one-punch power at 135 is like nobody else's in the division. Like the way he starches people is crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets so much torque and power into his punches, and he's so fast that he covers ground and his uppercuts, they're just devastating.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we just gotta wait and see until we get in there and touch the waters.
One Joe Rogan appeared visibly taken aback when Gervonta Tank Davis walked into the press setting ahead of his exhibition match with Jake Paul. Rather than the sleek, compact figure fans are used to seeing, Davis looked more densely built, his frame carrying more bulk and definition than expected. Rogan, no stranger to pro athletes in peak shape, sounded a note of surprise. The kind of reaction reserved for when something surpasses even high expectations.
I'm a giant Gervonta fan. I think that guy is so unusual. His style's so unusual, and his patience.
The Leo Santa Cruz fight was really something for me, because Leo Santa Cruz is a technician, Mexican style, and the fight was very close before Tank stopped him. But he has that power that can end it.
He finds these openings, and he sees them, but he doesn't go after them right away. He waits for the right time. He's so patient. Like when you watch the early rounds of his fights, he probably has the lowest punch count in the early rounds. But he also knows he's got that nuclear option, that if he can crack you, most likely he's going to take you out. He's got massive confidence in that.
During the face-off that followed, Gervonta Tank Davis appeared to downplay his noticeably altered physique. Rather than striking dominant poses or showing off his added muscle, he adopted a relaxed, almost casual stance. Arms often crossed or held in ways that partially obscured his torso, his body subtly angled away from full view. It felt intentional, as if he were trying to deflect attention from just how much his frame had changed. Still, despite the subdued posture, the transformation was hard to miss. Joe Rogan, observing the scene, offered a candid take. In his view, Jake Paul's moves are less about competition and more about spectacle. He pointed out that these kinds of exhibition bouts are crafted to draw in casual fans, built around curiosity, odd matchups, and headline potential rather than genuine sporting merit. Rogan argued that the hype, the betting chatter, and the promotional noise are all tools in Jake's strategy to stay in the spotlight. For Paul, Rogan said, boxing isn't just a sport, it's a stage, and he knows exactly how to keep the audience watching, even when the matchups don't always add up.
That was Jake Paul promoting it. You know, it's just like, doesn't bother me.
There's compromising the sport, and that's like bad. It's just like
if I bet on it,
watching
it
it
the
is
fuck out
hard.
of me.
Watching it with people who are so in on it, and then also man, the sports betting apps, they introduced like chat apps in them in Australia, so it's like they're trying to take the place of social media companies where you go together and you meet your friends. Like betting should be exciting enough without having a weird.
They're just trying to draw you in.
Thing.
They're just trying to make money, right? So they're trying to draw you in any way they can.
Yeah.
Davis is a lightweight champion, typically competing around 135 lbs, whereas Jake Paul has been fighting much closer to the cruiserweight limit in prior bouts. For this fight, the agreed catch weight is 195 lb, which itself came as a surprise to many, and was only confirmed after some back and forth.
We were yelling so much about him fight somebody your size. His next opponent is, by far, the most credentialed guy ever fought actively in his prime. There's one problem. He fights at 135 pounds. He fights at 135 pounds.
Due to the mismatch, the rules governing this exhibition fight are non-standard. For example, both fighters will use 12 Oz gloves, which are heavier than what Davis normally uses when fighting in his class.
The Jake Paul versus Tank fight is getting really weird. Gervonta looks scared for his life because the rules are out. They're crazy. Oh, so everyone thought that the fight was at 190. Instead it's at 195, and this weight difference is scaring the life out of little Tank.
Over 10 3-minute rounds.
I said it was 190.
The next dispute comes with the gloves. Little Tank is used to fighting in 8-ounce gloves. Baby glove. This fight will be in 12. Hands might be too small. Oh, so Tank just fought in a 12 3-minute round fight against Roach. Yes, and now he's fighting in 10 3-minute rounds, which isn't too bad. Well done, Jake. Exhibition though, can he win? Yes, he can actually win. It will be overlooked by 3 sanctioned judges. So he can actually still win and knock him out. But here's the trick. It's body punches only. And there's a reason. That's because Tank said, look, this is a bit unfair. I don't want to punch up. I want to punch at my head height. Where does it fall? At Jake Paul's belly. Oof. So apparently we've heard there's no knockdown rules, but aside from that, it's a pretty well-rounded fight. Oh yeah, and there's some drug testing involved. But Jake Paul for the win.
His trainer, Calvin Ford, has been quoted as being concerned about this change, saying heavier gloves reduce damage somewhat, but also change how punches feel and how defenses are structured. Clip 6 Teddy Atlas reacts to the face-off between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis and highlights the extreme size difference. He says that Tank is so small compared to Jake that he would need a ladder to even touch Jake's chin. While Atlas accepts that differences in skills and style are part of the sport, he stresses that the size gap in this case is simply too much.
My only concern is, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away from Jake. He fights in 10s. Tank fighting 8s, so he losing 4 ounces. So my thing is, I said, they said, put Tank in 8s, put him in 10s. That makes the fight more interesting. You know what I'm saying? And we'll go from there because I understand. And I brought that question up to one of his handlers. They was, no, we don't want to do no mixed match. It's supposed to be an expedition. Why does it matter? What, now y'all want the wins and the loss. You know what I'm saying? All these prescriptions, but you want to be great. Being great is really pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? Tank don't really care, So when I brought this up, he said, dang, facts. You know what I'm saying? So, again, he can weigh the 10s and we weigh the 8s. Then we got to fight.
He compares it with Canelo Alvarez moving up to fight Terence Crawford, but explains that Crawford was never that small, while Tank is physically too undized to even reach Jake effectively, which makes the fight appear mismatched from the start. Fans, media, and pundits have expressed concerns about how fair or safe the fight is given the size mismatch. Some of the controversy isn't just about Davis. There are questions about how the fight is being positioned, whether it promotes safety, and what precedents this sets for future exhibition or celebrity-adjacent fights. Joe Rogan is one of those voices pointing out that this is very unusual territory for boxing.
Right? They should also have like the size of the ring, the size of the glove, all that stuff. Particulars should be in the contract. But I would probably look for one thing that is not the common thing to have in a contract if I'm Tank. A ladder. A ladder. Can I get a ladder? Somebody? You know what I mean? Hey, look, if he hits him on the chin the way he can punch, Jake might be doing a dance, you know what I mean? Not voluntarily either. But we'll get into that more later. The thing that I'm talking about right here is what you said. It was stark. The size difference was really, you couldn't ignore it. We understand the talent difference, the experience difference. We understand all of that. But the size, the pure, and we understand small guys can beat big guys. We just saw Crawford do it to Canelo, but a little different. The size difference was, it was eye-catching, jaw-dropping, and it made me think. And I'm going to ask Richie, our man here who's doing all the taping, who does such a marvelous job. I'm going to ask him because I know he's an expert in this area. But it reminded me of one of the Rocky movies where they had the face, where they did the wrestling thing with Rocky and Hulk Hogan, a.k.a. Thunderlips. He was Thunderlips back there. And I thought I had it right, and it was confirmed to me. It's Rocky 3.
Dana White hasn't been shy about voicing skepticism toward the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis matchup. He slammed Paul for cherry-picking opponents, pointing out that he should fight someone closer to his size. White even compared Gervonta to Floyd Mayweather in terms of punching power, saying Davis hits way harder than Floyd, but noted he's too small and suggested Paul could lean on his size to smother Davis. He's been blunt, saying, "You guys need to fight guys your same size."
Weighed for Mike Tyson was 227 pounds. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a 92-pound weight difference. It's insane. That is called one thing. That's called being a bully.
Though Rogan has made it clear over time that he respects Davis both for his skill and his rise in boxing. After Davis knocked out Rolando Romero, Rogan praised him as someone emerging as a superstar, noting his ability to produce highlight-worthy moments with power and style. Rogan also spoke up after the Davis versus Ryan Garcia fight, calling Davis's presence in the ring terrifying and pointing out how quietly dangerous he can be. He might start conservative, but the threat of damage is always there.
Tank is one of the most interesting fighters to watch because he's so different. His style is so different. You know, he's so economical. Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, and, man, he be cracking them dudes.
People.
Hey, he be putting them to sleep.
Just cracking people.
Yeah.
And he has so much confidence in his power. So much confidence in his power.
You know, he just, in his mind, he know it's a matter of time before I catch you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with Tank, you know, these fighters. You got to be aware 15 rounds. I know you're going 12, but you got to think you're going 3 more because one slip, one mistake, and it's over.
Yeah.
You know, so hats off to Tank. You know, he's a great, talented fighter. But again, he haven't faced the top elite fighters in his division.
Right.
You know, so we want to see Tank against, you know, somebody his size, you know, at the elite level.
Yeah.
And I believe he'll do good because, you know, he got the skills, the power, he got the ring IQ to do good, but we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's also wild. He's a wild fella, so he's fun to watch. You know, he's just a crazy dude, you know.
Yeah. Coming from Baltimore, man, I think that's just his upbringing as well.
Yes, for sure. He's just so unique in his approach. Like, you know, he doesn't fight like anybody else.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, actor and martial artist Michael J. White weighed in on the ongoing debate, stating that Jake Paul, regardless of his performance or hype, can never be considered a legitimate boxing champion. White emphasized the distinction between exhibition matches or crossover fights and official championship contests sanctioned by major boxing authorities. His commentary reflects a broader sentiment among professional fighters and enthusiasts who see Paul's ventures as entertainment rather than a demonstration of true championship caliber, reinforcing the skepticism around the legitimacy of the fight.
Like that Ryan Garcia one, where Gervonta Davis caught him with that left hook to the body. People were saying that he quit.
No.
He never been hit in the liver. Oscar De La Hoya quit the same way with Bernard Hopkins.
With the same thing.
Same body shot.
Same
left
body
hook to
shot.
the body.
And he tried to come, and he tried to take a step out that corner and not the front of his foot even moved. He just went down. He's like, man, this is it.
And if you get kicked to the body.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. A kick to the body is so goddamn devastating, especially a spinning back kick. You could literally pick someone up in the air. It's like they get hit by a car.
Any kick to that. Oh.
It's really something to see a kid who has nothing, born into extreme poverty, become a world champion, like Gervonta Davis.
Yeah.
It's an inspiring story.
It is, and it's great for everyone because it gives you fuel. Like for a person who's coming up in life, even if you're not a fighter, you see what someone's gone through and you see the success that hard work has created.
Right.
And it can be a roadmap for you.
Commentator Showbiz also acknowledged that despite the unconventional nature of the fight, public curiosity will likely ensure massive viewership. Tank's recent comments about potentially walking away from boxing have created doubt and speculation among fans about whether the fight will materialize. The tension between Tank and Shakur Stevenson on social media platforms like X has amplified these doubts as both fighters exchange sharp words questioning each other's abilities. This drama adds an extra layer of unpredictability to the sport, blending entertainment and competitive anticipation. Clip 12. Many analysts suggest that in his recent fights, Gervonta Davis is less about chasing legacy or facing the sport's best and more focused on financial gain. They argue that his matchup with Jake Paul is evidence of this. Davis seems driven by the purse on the table rather than competitive prestige. To convince him to take on elite-level opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach, promoters like Turk would have to offer money on the level of mega events. Think the paydays seen in fights such as Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. At this point, they believe that money has become Davis's primary motivator, overshadowing considerations of glory or traditional sporting achievement.
He's fighting Jake just because he's getting $40 million. So when we talk about boxing being dead, Tank has to line up at the front of the line. I can't blame him, but don't throw around, oh, boxing's dead and people switch sides and all of that. You chose not to be great. That's it. You chose not to be great. Stuff like that, choices like that will kill boxing, for sure. On a competitive level, it won't kill it on a business level. On a business level, until people run out of interest in these kind of matchups, it'll do well. On a competitive level, choosing not to fight the best will kill the sport. So maybe it's better if people like Tank aren't in the sport. And I don't even say that because I want that to be the case. I think Tank is ridiculously talented, but you can't want a fighter to fight more than what they want to. You can't. Tank fans or Tank people that like Tank and think he's one of the best, you can't want it for him. And then Shakur came back with, that's how I know you soft. I can't even go back and forth with you soft ass. You rather pop to me on social media than get in that fire and get embarrassed. I get it. Peace and blessings upon you, cuz. He says, the people got you chest out so bad. You talking like you a killer, forgetting that you the one that runs, bitch. I'll be bring the fight to you. This dude, a made-up character. Quote, blessings upon you. Clown-ass dude, wanna be Kevin Gates? Oh, my goodness. I mean, here's the thing, though. You can't say that stuff about Shakur if you're not willing to fight him. This is the point I think that we're going to come to today, is that Tank can say all this stuff he wants, but if you're not willing to fight Shakur, then none of it means anything anymore. Even if you believe that Tank is going to knock him out, even if you believe that Shakur's a runner, or that he's not in the trenches, or he's not a boxer that's willing to bring the fight, or whatever, none of it matters. You're talking from the sideline because you won't fight him.
However, Tank Davis responded angrily to fans' questions regarding accusations of him dodging top fighters like Shakur Stevenson. He made it clear that he does not care about public opinion, emphasizing that fans often shift their loyalties after a single disappointing performance. Tank stressed that his focus remains on his career and personal goals rather than on satisfying every critic or fan.
Do you think that Jake Paul could win a legitimate boxing title?
No, no, because he's so far behind someone of his equal age who's been doing it for a very long time. He started very late. That's why I applaud exactly what he's doing. I think he should be doing exactly what he's doing. If he fought a legitimate, top 10 cruiserweight, I will shut the f up. If he's able to fight an actual contender of the top 10, that would be astonishing if he can get to that point. If he beat anybody in the top 10, that would be, to me, the greatest thing he's ever accomplished.
Yeah, because historically he's fought old men.
I think he's done it the right way, because there's a possibility where a 50-year-old Anderson Silva might be able to beat him. Who thought he was going to beat Tyson? I really thought, oh, Tyson's just going to go to the body and just punish his body, because I thought that that's what would win him the thing, but he did not do that. I think it makes for a good matchup. He's made for great spectacle.
What do you think? Is Gervonta Davis making the right move by putting financial gain ahead of legacy? Drop your thoughts below.